Welcome to the Chromaniacs, everybody. Your weekly look inside San Diego FC and Major League Soccer, episode number 11 of the Chromaniacs, powered by SanDiego.Futbol and the Padres Hot Tub Podcast Network. My name's Craig Elston. It is great to have you along, and I've got my fellow Chromaniacs alongside, including Tony Sanchez. What's up, Tony?
It's a hot one here in San Diego. Some of us don't ever know what a air conditioning unit in a home has felt in San Diego because it's expensive to pay, let alone run a big appliance. But hey, we're here. We're ready to go. League's Cup is over, so there we go. Now on to MLS. Alex, ¿cómo estás?
Good here. We're in August, and that must mean it's away days August here for San Diego FC. The next 3 out of 4 are going to be away, and it's going to be a very fun time. And Craig, I actually had, the pleasure of listening to you on Ben and Woods and explaining Tim to the masses out there.
Failing
I
think.
I thought you did a good job. You did a good job explaining Tim.
Oh my gosh, I was taking a stab. Like, I think it's team allocated money. It could have been tamarind sauce for all I knew, but no, thank you so much. Well, we're going to be talking about TAM on this episode of Chromaniacs because here's what's coming up. We're going to start on the roster side. We're going to move to Leagues Cup, and we're going to finish with the return to MLS play coming up this weekend at Sporting KC. That's the layout for Chromaniacs number 11. First, a reminder, you can follow us on Instagram. Please do at the Chromaniacs. Helped out by our friend Terrible SDFC Memes, who always pulls great clips from the show. So make sure that you follow that on Instagram at the Chromaniacs. Also, thank you for the 5-star reviews we've been receiving. I see them on Apple Podcasts. I'm sure they're out there on Spotify and everywhere else, but if you do have that moment, if you're listening to the audio version of this, please go ahead and find a second. If you like the show, for that 5-star review. If you dislike the show, please move on with your day and do nothing. Likewise, if you're watching us on YouTube and you can hit that thumbs up button, please do, and leave some kind comments. And otherwise, see ya. There's shorts right below us that you can go click on and go find what you like. But we're glad for everybody who is here and who has found their way to the Chromaniacs, episode number 11. Guys, the search for our center forward continues. And I thought we were done with the Iloski saga, which started with the debutante debut and then the comet streaking across the sky. So much joy. And then the confusion, the absence. Where is he? Why isn't he there? Rest day? Rotation? No. End of a loan. End of a time. You're back out to Europe, pal. Except, wait, he's in Orange County. Why isn't he in Europe? Is LAFC going to poach Milan Iloski? No, they're going to go spend $26 million on Sonny. Okay. Is Philadelphia going to poach Milan Iloski? Yep. Milan Iloski, Philadelphia Union. Signed, sealed, delivered, ready, plug and play to the starting lineup for the Union this weekend, gentlemen. There he is in the wrong kit. If you're watching on YouTube, Milan Iloski. Your feelings, guys, starting with you, Alex, because I know when we talked about him leaving, I think we all thought coming back to MLS was probably more likely than locking into a European league.
Yeah, and just keeping track of what he was doing over at Northland, he didn't get that many minutes. He didn't go back and just start games for Northland. So this was I think this was probably the plan for him, that what he really wanted to do was come and be a full-time player in MLS, and now he gets to be. Now he gets to be I don't know what the situation at Union is, but it kind of seems like they have a plan for Iloski, and the plan might be for him to be starting. So yeah, it's for me. It's it's a little disappointing. We could have hashed out a deal, could have stayed here, and it would have been great. But at last, he moves on. He is now a Union player, and I got to share that news with you guys. I think when it came down on Thursday, Friday. To my disappointment, yeah.
I mean, to a lot of people's disappointment, just overall, just in the way that it went down, in the way that, it might have been a rude awakening for a lot of people of this is how San Diego FC was going to operate. If ever there's another opportunity for this to be righted, maybe not with Milan Iloski, but with some of the kids that they're starting to open their Right to Dream Academy, which, by the way, that started this week. The first batch of Right to Dream Academy players have started. The players that you'll see in San Diego FC 5 years from now. But with Milan Iloski, we had just kind of, hey, always look on the bright side of life. On the business side of things, right? Right to Dream, the sister club of SDFC, took $1 million projected here from a rival. So if that's the copium that you want, there it is.
Always look on the bright side of life. I mean, come on. Oh, you're right. Holy cow. We got him. We got him, boys. Philadelphia spent $1 million, and all they got was our forward.
Yeah. And in terms of what they're planning on having Milan Iloski do, well, guess what? They have 3 strikers ahead of him on the depth chart. So they're not signing him to fill a need that San Diego FC currently needs and has and is just absolutely wide open out there. But like you said, this is kind of what it is. At the end of the day, a local player went and is playing top tier soccer just elsewhere once again, a la Brandon Vasquez, Paul Arriola, a la, Joe Benny Corona. Just be happy for him, I guess. But no, that is a rival player at this point who is going to go head to head in Supporter Shield. Right?
Okay. Tam talk.
Tam talk.
It's time. Thank you for coming to my Tam talk. Did Philadelphia Union use Tam to sign Iloski? Is this money that we had allocated to De La Torre and other players, and because he didn't fit within our standard player budget, they were able to offer him something that we weren't?
Yeah, they have to use Tam for this type of acquisition. So when Tam is used, it's to meet a certain criteria of player that is going to be charging over their salary cap number, which what we call is a salary cap number. They call it like a salary budget charge number. But I think for other sports, they use salary cap number, right? But anything over like 743,000, and this is salary plus the fee, the transfer fee or loan fee, that gets calculated into that budget charge. So anything over 743, which you're $1 million is already over that, you have to use the TAM to pay the overage. So yeah, he will be considered a TAM player, and they also have other TAM players on their roster. Baribo is one of them, and right now the fear is that Union is going to have to like sell one of these guys away, one of their TAM players away, just so they can fit Iloski into their salary roster construction. So and when it comes to our TAM, a lot of it has been used when it comes to Luca De La Torre and Marcus Ingvartson. and there's some other players on TAM too. Patty McNair, on Andres Reyes, Ani Malakari. They have been they have to use TAM because of the acquisition fees for those players. So they're also charging TAM. My rough estimate on what we have for TAM is not a lot. I think it's around 260, but again, these numbers are never reported. There's no transparency in MLS, so you just don't know. You have to do the rough math of it. And they already use like over half of their TAM on Luka and Ingvartson. Like it would have. I don't know what kind of a deal Iloski was looking here, and then plus you also have to tie in some sort of transfer fee for with Northland, and maybe it would have been half. Maybe it would have been half, or a quarter of that, right? $250,000, but but that fee also has to be added into the salary that he is demanding. So if the math isn't mathing, that player isn't going to fit into Tyler Heaps's calculations for his roster.
Yeah.
Well, and that leaves us where we are then, right, Tony? So I mean, I think for fans, for the supporters, for the season ticket members, for the local fans who are just getting introduced to San Diego FC, it feels like SDFC screwed up here.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
It feels like there was a loan, there was an opportunity for a negotiation. The negotiation took place. Did Tyler Heaps put too low of a figure on Milan Iloski? Did he, because as he said in his press conference that we played on a previous episode, he said, we've had the player for 18 months. We know the player. And as such, he had his own price that he had set. But was that price the market price? And then the subsequent question is, if the market price could only be paid by TAM to make the deal work under MLS cookie rules, we're all TAM'd out. We just really didn't have the opportunity to sign him. Where on the spectrum do you lie on that?
Well, I mean, they could have extended the loan. Those could have been terms that could have been fixed with this, at least for this season, because this transfer didn't happen with San Diego FC. It happened with FC Northland. So the money goes to that project across the ocean. Like San Diego FC essentially has nothing to do with this. And right. Other than the missed opportunity of not keeping him here for the remainder of his loan / extended the loan, the implications is this is an international transfer, and seems like Philadelphia got the hottest striker on the block that would have worked for every single box for San Diego FC. Is that the excuse that negotiations just were not going to happen now? Okay, could you have extended the loan and perhaps revisited that table towards the end of the extended loan spell? Definitely. And both sides clearly wanted to do something. It's just unfortunate for everybody involved, especially just the fan base. Again, I think of who got the Milan Iloski 32 and thinking this is my new favorite player. Like now, yeah, great. You have a great relic. You have a great, hey, remember when Mike Piazza played for the Padres? Sure.
Right.
But what if Mike Piazza was Mike gosh darn Piazza with the Padres and played just like him? Wow. And then they just let him go. Or Greg Matt. Oh, wow. Just incredible players that, walked from San Diego. But don't worry, Craig. San Diego FC's working. Tyler Heaps is making deals. He's making use of the TAM and some mostly GAM. But you ask for firepower, it's on its way.
All right. Let's talk about it. Corey Baird.
Yeah.
Former Rookie of the Year, MLS. Currently playing FC Cincinnati, not adorning himself in flowers necessarily with his numbers this year. But Escondido's own Corey Baird is the 18th thread has been restored, gentlemen. Escondido is back online. It was 17 with one abstention for a few weeks. Now, Escondido, sound off. You've got one of your own.
Oh, man.
Alex, does this suffice? Is this enough for you? Are you okay? Are you satisfied? Are you satiated with the prospect of having somebody who is being told to everybody online of, good. That's CFC's problem now. Good riddance. That's all you're hearing from Cincinnati.
Yeah, it's not the most positive of reviews that I'm getting from FC Cincinnati fans, but it's an interesting acquisition because if you look at Iloski and if you look at Baird, they have completely different like skill sets, right? Um, and Baird is coming from a system that's completely different from SanDiego FC, so it kind of seems like Baird's a type of player that's going to fit more of the system that SanDiego FC is going to be playing than him becoming, Baird becoming the next Iloski, right? He's also older. He has veteran minutes here in MLS, and it just seems like we're getting a role guy to play a role position and really fit the needs of the team than what the team necessarily needs, right? It just it's an interesting acquisition, and it kind of seems like this is the type of move that they want to make in order to succeed more like long term.
Okay, so what is that? So you mean that he's a project? He's somebody that they can improve?
Not I would say he would improve maybe in this system because like I was looking at like FC Cincinnati and they're not very much a possession base like we are. And when he was more of a successful player with the Houston Dynamo, they were much more possession based. They
Okay.
focused more on the short passes. He's a very good passer, by the way. I think that's kind of the system he needs, right? He played in a 4-3-3 with Houston. Cincinnati does like a 3-5-2. Yeah, like a
Disgusting.
yeah,
Yeah, it's gross.
yeah. It's more midfield. Yeah, more midfielders on the pitch, and yeah, it just and there was players ahead of him too. There's a lot of players ahead of him. So maybe this is what he needs to get regular minutes, be a much more productive player here.
Okay. So change in system, maybe back to a style that fits his game a little bit more, Tony. Does Baird come in and play the 9, or is he someone who's playing the wing and now we're trying to put one of our wings up the middle?
So I think that's going to be more than likely happening with Baird, mostly being a winger in that. And we've seen the success of SanDiego FC with Anders Dreyer down the middle in that 9 slot, in that 9 position. We've seen, just a cavalcade of just revolving door players. You have Valakari being up there, but I think Dreyer's the one, the most consistent outside of a Milan Iloski for SanDiego FC in that role. So if you have somebody who you can throw out there and can be safe and retain possession of the ball, get ball possession back. That's the Emma Boateng a factor that they really like about him is that, yeah, he'll lose the ball. He won't move the ball forward, but he does those fireman actions to come back and retrieve the ball, right? So that's the type of winger that they're getting because on the stat sheet, like he's not leading in anything in 99 percentile that's outside of, just general, tackles. Okay. But he's a winger. So he's leading in tackles for wingers in amongst his peers. So all this beautiful just kind of data just tells you like this is a player that isn't necessarily on the most potent side of goal scoring. So yes, it's a project, but this is where I think this SDFC rehab center comes into place. They rehabbed a couple players into the national team. There's a chance that a system player like this can bare bones their actions and really reset the way into the fundamental style and potentially work and be a cog in the wheel of the machine for SanDiego FC moving forward.
Well, now I'm all fired up.
But
Okay.
Yeah.
Before I get to what I think is maybe the real answer, there's still time left, Alex, but is there resource left? Is there any reason for me to believe that we're going to do another show where we're talking about another signing?
Yeah, there's still plenty of GAM left, and there's also plenty of roster spots left. I mean, you even with yeah, Baird is just basically taking the Iloski role, so he's taking his spot, but we still need someone to take Jasper Loffelson's spot. We still need someone to. You can get another person to get the Andres Reyes spot, the Brusset spot too. You have you potentially have an international slot that you can use. So there's spots to use. There's money to spend. It's all about how you want to spend it. And the interesting thing is I still don't hear any rumors or any positive movement in a senior player coming into San Diego FC. You know, we've seen Vasquez, we've seen Soma. Those are very young players. Now we see Baird. That was a trade with Cincinnati, more veteran player. But I think you can fill 2-3 spots here, and there's plenty of room to do it. So Tyler Heaps, get on the phone, get your best AJ Preller impression out there.
And then I see today an Instagram post from Marcus Ingvartson showing him back out at training. Nice kind of like glamour shot. Another one of him, like doing the high steppy type drilly thing. See, there we go. Okay, look, he's looking good. There's the high steppy drilly thing. Very solid. And there's the glamour shot. Marcus Ingvartson. Very handsome fella. Isn't he the answer? Like, if it's not him, there's not going to be the next guy walking through the door, so it might as well be him. Am I crazy to say that, Tony?
I mean, yeah, on the surface, right? He's the number 7. He is actually, somebody you can throw on the wing as well. If that's why Baird, kind of doesn't make sense in a way, because you have a center forward that if you don't play a center forward because you trust in Angel, you can throw him over on the wing behind Chucky for more depth, because again, Mighton, while he does, great plays, doesn't really produce dangerous actions. He's just, he did a good hustle play, but in this last game against Mazatlan. But Marcus Varas, yeah, that should be the prototypical, the goals will come once he returns. But I'm not too sure that he's going to come in and light a fire under this offense. It took him a while to just get, accustomed to MLS play, and then he got injured. Like, he hasn't played a lot of minutes this season. So he really hasn't hit that gear with the squad as the squad's melded together. He's just kind of watched this whole time. So hopefully he's seeing the way that his skill set can be put best into the Right to Dream S/SDFC style, because he knows it better than anybody outside of Yepe. He should be able to recognize this is where I'm needed and make sure that he's filling that void, whether that's him scoring goals or not. Who knows, but it should be him. That is the answer. There's a player there that's returning, hopefully to be able to play a full 90.
Yeah. And also the big investment they have on him. His contract goes through 2027 with option years in 28 and 29. So that's a big contract for a TAM player. And you're trying to get the most out of him. So I'm guessing that that's also in their thought process. It's like, we already made a big investment for Ingvartson. We got to see what he can bring to the table. And I think that's how they're going to go.
I'm just going to continue to light a candle for my man Marcus. Like, if he's the one, to me, he's the only player kind of in the initial SDFC wave. And it's not the only, but the only guy that when they had their first ever player interviews was Marcus and Yeppe.
Yeah.
He was first guy they brought out. And of course, Chucky to follow and Dreyer to follow and everything else, but supposed to be a key contributing player to this club. And I feel like he's about the only guy out of that initial group that really hasn't made a true contribution to this year's team other than fleeting contribution. So would just love to see that be a thing that works out for SDFC, because I think it could be the key to raise their ceiling going forward here down the stretch.
Really quick. I mean, just to, we're lighting candles here for a returning player from injury that we really haven't seen the potential of. But do either of you feel FOMO from Humingson, Thomas Mueller, like these big names that are being thrown out, even in MLS circles? Mihailovic going from Colorado over to Toronto, a big move for him and the team over in Canada. But is there FOMO from like where's our big name? Where's our kind of like, where do either of you stand on that?
Yeah, that's kind of the reason why it's kind of, for me, it's a little disappointing that we're not involved in any of these rumors to bring someone in, either here domestically or internationally. And it does feel like we're kind of missing out on it. We don't know what's going to happen in the future, and the reason why I brought up like the international slot, I think there's a perfect chance for a lone player just come here for the next 6 months or so. Let's finish out the season, make an impact, and then let's revert back to the under 22 system or however for the future, right? But yeah, this is a big year. I think weeks ago I said, use the third the designated player spot. I still feel like they should use it just for this year. Get a short-term player, get a player that's going to be here for a year or two. I know that's unlikely. That's not really going to happen, but at least a lone player, at least someone to come in and, finish the season off and hopefully win a trophy.
All right. What I'm going to say might on some level seem unfair to maybe somebody at Singing Hill. So I just want to say up top that, I've got nothing but respect for Mikey Varas, and obviously this team has done a great job. They're a winning team that's first place in the West, and there's nothing to be ashamed of with everything that SDFC has done. As I've kind of said on the last couple of shows, 3, 4 shows, I just have had the feeling as we see a 16-year-old and an 18-year-old and another 18-year-old, come rolling into town, and now a role player, in terms of Baird, kind of start to get the feeling as a fan. Nobody telling me this, no inside information. As an outsider and a fan, I start to get the feeling that SDFC is pretty happy with their midterm grades. Like they're a club that feels pretty good about what they've done. And they should feel pretty good about what they've done. And it makes me feel like they feel like having a really nice winning record that winds up top 4 in the West. Maybe they take the West, but top 4, make the playoffs, give it a go, see what happens. Hey, try to win it all. Our goal is to win the MLS Cup. Yeah, but if we don't, we'll have had a hell of a first year. And we've brought in all these kids, and you know what? We saved a little money down the stretch. We could have gone all out and we could have gone crazy, but do we really need to do that year one? Are we really going to win MLS Cup if we go spend on that DP? I mean, maybe, but maybe not. So what if we just kind of chilled and continued down the slow path? And, we're really over our skis here. We didn't think we'd be first. We thought we'd be like 9th. We thought we'd be like 8th or 9th. So come on, don't make us act like we're first. We're like, let us act like we're 8th. It's our first year. Come on. All right. Is that unfair?
No, it's not. And it's also not unfair to point, I feel, to the players that are there and give the respect to Mikey and the team and everybody out there, because guess what? It's worked. It's been working. You don't have names. Nobody knew Honors Dreyer. Nobody knew anybody outside of Chucky Lozano who these players were. Like, don't tell. Like, I was there for the expansion draft, and you know what? Gosh, God bless Frontera, but they cheered for who? Like, yeah, like they had no idea who they were cheering for, but it was part of the building process. But it's been working, and I think that's where I see people commenting and the fan base, which I like that it's getting active and they want names and they want players, but you're in first place either way. So we'll see where this was heads. But some of these new players were, had positive performances yesterday, and it was nice to see a victory again at Snapdragon Stadium. That was like that, a clean sheet. I don't know how, just a little bit of a ginger palate cleanser for everyone.
Look at you, the master of the segue, Alex. This is, Tony proving his worth to our trio over and over. Let's get to the League's Cup. Let's get off of roster kvetching and back to field results. So since the last time that we joined you, SDFC played twice. As we told you, if you missed it, as we told you last time, we were riding on the Tigres result in terms of what the Chromaniac output was going to be. And if they took down Tigres, we were going to go ahead and white knuckle this thing all the way down. We would have been live after Mazatlan, the whole thing. But they didn't. They lost in a respectable match. They lost 2-1. They were then eliminated. And then Tuesday, in front of the smallest crowd in SDFC history, a match that was not included in season ticket member ticket strips, which I think explains the attendance 1-1. A 2-0 win over the newest team, kind of the little brother team of LigaMX, right? Mazatlan, the team that has the least history, the team that is the newest. And a scoreless first half, and then goals from Valakari twice in pretty short order, from 66 and 72 to give SD 2-0 and a nice send out from League's Cup and bursting Mazatlan's bubble as well. They were set with a win to advance, and instead down they go.
The thing lore that I'll add for Mazatlan is that they're one of those teams that were transplanted from a historic club of Monarcas Morelia and Michoacan, who had titles, who had history, and they were ripped from there and placed in Mazatlan in a new market. So that's why they're the new one. So it's almost like Columbus Crew or just Austin, just ripped from a market and just placed there. So
right,
that's kind of where they're, and they're the laughing stock of just Liga MX in general. So it's good to have a victory over them, 100%.
Yeah, we made Liga MX proud and with that one. Oh man, but yeah, I like this game. I mean, and look who started, Dos Santos. He gave us a clean sheet. I think we're back to our quarterback controversy, goalkeeper controversy here. He looked good. I mean, he looked good. He had a few really good stops where, he had to get off his line and did a good job. It seemed like the mask didn't really do much. I didn't see it interfere with anything. He was just, I think a few times he was still touching it, still trying to feel it out, but he looked good. I mean, and man, I did not have Valakari scoring a brace in my bingo card for this year, but wow, look, that was a very good positive, and it might have Mikey Varas put him more at the 9 and work, just work him out, just rotate him like he usually does, put him at the 9 or in the midfield, and yeah, he's really becoming that rotational player that you kind of need, Swiss Army knife. That's really good to have.
Yes. I also like that the second goal, the entry pass came from the 18-year-old Vasquez. And that was a nice run, nice buildup, nice interior pass. And it's a sign that some of the kids, and on our YouTube clip, there it is, it's a very simple play. but actually a lot cleaner one than the first goal. The first goal, Mazatlan's running around all over the place. Like Dreyer completely telegraphs a pass to the middle and then gets it there, and then Valakari settles it, and there's still nobody there. So that to me was just a defense not being open enough. This is a nice run through, nice look, and I give Vasquez just as much credit, I think, as Valakari for the finish, and it's a good finish.
Yeah, Soma, Vasquez, Valakari, very, very well done. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Soma just thrown in there, right, with the burst of energy that San Diego FC definitely needed through Dreyer and Valakari. There was that gear shift, and there was a moment, and I don't know if the cameras caught it on the replay, but I think that when Valakari scored, Tomas Angel didn't look happy. Like, he just didn't look happy because he was trying that whole game, and Valakari just comes in and just with an ease, just there you go. He's just outside the box shot. It's a goal. Like, that's all you have to do. Sometimes you don't need to take that extra touch and try to work it around the goalkeeper. Just take a shot. That'll be enough. And then he scores 2, and it's like, well, is Valakari back up top now? Is he back on the menu for that? Also, watching the Spanish version of this, did you guys know Anibal Godoy has a nickname?
No, what is it?
It's so dope. El Samurai.
El Samurai.
Dude, it's so awesome.
Oh, I like it.
So, go watch Leagues Cup. If you're going to watch Leagues Cup, if you're not listening to the local broadcast, go listen to the Spanish version. It's exciting. It's good. And you get little insights like that. I was like, is it really? Is that just the, commentator just done it? And it's like, no. Like, they double, tripled, like, every time he got the ball. And here's El Samurai, talking with the young Vasquez, letting him know. Oh, okay. Like, got it. Excellent. Good job. And pobrecito Vasquez, because this whole tournament, his 2 appearances, he was given a welcome to San Diego by every single LigaMX team because he was getting ragdolled and just fouled left and right. And, he held his own. Like, I keep saying this kid even get not necessarily bullied, but, there was a moment where in that red card situation in Mazatlan where Benedetto just turns over this dude, this man, and then, other 30-year-old dude comes up and Vasquez stood his own. Like, it was a good moment for the kid. And, red card for Mazatlan, losing their heads. But yeah, little cool little insights there.
Well, you brought up Angel, and that just reminds me that the Tigres game probably provided 2 interesting pieces of news. One was a misplay by my goalkeeper, Cisniega, which, if you do remember, on the last show, I said there was a decent chance I thought he could be replaced on the next match, on the Tigres match, because it's just the way Varas does business. But then when he made an error against Tigres, I'm like, okay, obviously Dos Santos will start the next match. But also the 1 goal for SDFC was a Tomas Angel goal. And boy, his celebration, it looked like he wiped the ghosts of 1,000 demons off of him all at once. He was like, wait, I'm not done. There's still more. That guy, well, he obviously, his frustration has grown that he has not been the number 9 that this team needs.
Yeah, he's missed some. Yeah, he's missed some like opportunities in that game, and then the last one, and like, does he know something? Does he know, like, is this going to be it for him? Like, is he just going to go back to the bench if he doesn't start scoring these goals?
He has to, like TikTok. Like, how many defensive compliments is it going to take for him to wake up on offense? Right. If you're an attacker and you take pride in enjoying your work and what you do, that's great that I'm good at everything else. But the thing that you're paid to do, the thing that your father is historically known for, again, watching the Spanish language commentary of this, the reverence of, it's Tommy, hijo del gran, just such a great technician. And Russo Brailovsky, just known in LigaMX circles as just this very studious gentleman of the game, just giving recognition and just seeing the frustration of Tomas Angel. And they were cheering for him, almost like, man, he's got to do better in those situations. He's got to let the ball go. Like, coaching the kid in that way, but he knows, Tomas Angel knows that he needs to produce a little bit more. And that moment, I think it could be a catalyst for that. But was the Mazatlan game after the right way to do that? I'm not sure. I think he needs to start performing in MLS, where San Diego FC has been doing very well.
Let's hear from Mikey Varas and what he had to say after that win over Mazatlan, and kind of putting a wrap on Leagues Cup, because that's a wrap for Leagues Cup. SDFC is bowing out and will not be advancing to knockouts.
If you could just start us off with your overall thoughts on the match, and what do you feel you learned the most about your team throughout this Leagues Cup?
Yeah, we asked the guys that we finished strong. It was also an opportunity to make the squad bigger, get some guys some playing time, try some things like playing Manu on the left center back position. And then we asked for them to improve in some concepts that we feel like maybe we weren't up to the standard in the first couple games in terms of just finishing actions against a low block better and then managing the transitions. And I think the boys stepped up today, and they did exactly what we asked, and they really hit the mark on it. You know, we have more debuts now. David Vasquez shows that he's got quality as a young player. I mean, he just arrived a week ago, right? And he hasn't really even trained with the team in terms of concepts. And then I think we completely dominated the game, and the goals were coming at some point.
And if you could talk a little bit more about David Vasquez, you know, he seemed to be really comfortable out there despite not having many minutes with the team.
Yeah, I think it's a credit to the staff in terms of just onboarding him with kind of like best practice videos, using the little training time we had to give him some just high-level tips, you know, some real big basic tips. And then it's a huge credit to the players on the field, the leadership that we have on the field in terms of coaching him and helping him and setting him up for success. And it's something we strive for here, to have great teammates, have that kind of culture, have each other's back. And one thing we challenge the group on is, can you make the players around you better? And I think a lot of guys helped in that, and he was good.
As always, great commentary from the man who's got definitely the best fits of SDFC stuff, best T-shirts, best hoodies. I love Mikey's SDFC fashion sense. Like, literally, when I went to the team store, I'm like, let me get some of the cool stuff that I've seen Mikey Varas wear. Nope, not there. Oh,
I do too, but not my managers, not my managers. Managers, I think, should be wearing, you know, manager wear. I don't know,
like a suit or something.
Even a tracksuit. Why not? That'd be cool. No, I mean, that's just the purist in me. I just, no hate on his fashion sense, because again, who am I? I wore Hawaiian shirts to all these press for the past 4 or 5 years. So hey, it's all good.
Yeah, Mr. Sanchez. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. throwing bricks through his own glass house right here. This is
100%. But it's good that, again, he's recognizing there, and I was frantically raising my hand in the Zoom for this, but unfortunately wasn't called. Thank you, Abe Cepeda, for taking care of those questions in English. But David Vasquez earlier also came on, just really commended the team and the preparation around not just the head coach, but just the individuals that welcome him and have that transition process into a new squad that made him feel prepared. Like, he was able to really execute well in this system, and not a lot of players can be able to do that. And he was very thankful for the opportunity. And I think that's what San Diego FC is going to get, a lot of hungry players who want to take the most of their minutes and want to be the best version of themselves. And that's what we saw from David Vasquez. Hopefully that's what all these players who are incoming get a chance to showcase, that they do have the quality to be on a starting 11, at least somewhere, at least here in San Diego FC and MLS.
Question, Alex. We kind of alluded to it earlier, but we just straight expect to see Dos Santos Saturday in Kansas City, right?
Yeah, it's going to be. I feel like it might be a game time decision for Mikey Varas. because you could take a look at, okay, this was just one match. He wore the mask. He was very comfortable. If Varas feels like, okay, he's my number one, he's been my number one throughout the season, then I'm going with Dos Santos. Or you're looking at the flip side of Cisnega and saying like, okay, he's been my guy the last few matches and leagues in league play. It's the hotter hand right now. He's done a pretty good job. He's done really well with this back line too, a very young back line. I'm gonna go with him. So you could pretty much flip a coin. I don't think there's any bad decision, but I think Dos Santos, what he was doing, and got the clean sheet. Look pretty good.
Yeah, I think the bad decision would be to go away from your process, because the process has been the flow, and within flow, Dos Santos should start because he just came off of a good outing, so he should continue. Doing something that's counter flow, I think that's where you get in trouble. That's where you need to have a good, solid reason, and like a matchup based reason or something like that. And I don't see it. So I think we'll see Dos Santos back. As we move forward here and kind of transition to Sporting KC and Saturday, I will preview for next week's show that we are excited to bring back Voice of the Supporters. Vanessa has agreed to come on the show. It's just a busy Disneyland trip this week. So
Nice.
couldn't come on this week, but excited to come on next week, and we're looking forward to that. So Voice of the Supporters will be returning next week.
If I may throw something on just your Voice of the, I'm so sorry, just a bit, but about this tailgate situation in Orange Lot. Do you know about this?
Oh yeah,
No, what's
that's
going
right.
Oh,
Can you remember that Snapdragon is still under construction, so the Orange Lot will now be under construction due to the renovation of the area. So
yeah.
yes.
So that's all out.
It seems like a part of it will be out, from what I saw and heard. And
Okay.
yes,
The white square
the white
is
square
the
will
eliminated square.
will
Okay.
now be under construction.
Well,
for now, but this is the first signal
Yeah.
of like, hey, this is the reality, right? Like, where are those fans going to go? Are they going to get pushed over now to the more premium side of things, or maybe they go join the supporter section and El Callejon and have a good time? So, hey,
I'm just going to say, outside of a couple of matches this year, I don't think eliminating that square is going to cause anybody any problem. I think that, the first match and maybe Galaxy or LAFC, where it was quite crowded, you might have needed that space for tailgaters. But most of the tailgates I've seen have been further south in that Orange Lot. And I walk by it every match going to the Purple Lot up there in the northern corner of the gravel out there. So I think that's a fine mid-season move for SDFC. Beginning of the year would have been a pain in the butt. Middle of the year, crowds aren't, not that the crowds have been bad, but they're not exactly where they were before. So I think they've probably got that much space that they can afford to play with. But yeah, it's going to be a constantly evolving landscape, Tony. That's the point I think you're making, is things are continuously going to change. One of the biggest things that a professional team can do to lower their burden, especially their tax burden, is to renovate.
Yeah.
Renovate and improve. Just ask the San Diego Padres, who then like to pass that on to the fans too and say, hey, with our renovation and improvement, please enjoy this ticket increase. But it's a real thing they do. So, hey, who knows what the Snap site will look like 15 years from now? Where's the water or the big park going?
On the south side?
Is it?
I believe so.
By
Okay.
the by the trolley station and all that.
Yeah, nothing says nature to me
Yeah.
It's like a trolley going by every
The
5
river
minutes.
park.
What happened to
Yeah.
all those EPA reports that, all right, whatever, stadium
Yeah,
talk.
never mind. Is it Stadium Talk that
Stadium
rocks?
talk, yeah.
Yeah, let's get out of it. Okay. We've seen Sporting KC. I've been at this match. It was the 0-0 draw. A very frustrating match where they just kind of played back, and SDFC could not penetrate, and it wound up being nothings. But Kansas City at home, weather sure to be a factor, guys. I haven't looked it up, but I mean, if you told me I was going the second weekend in August to Kansas City, Missouri, I'd say, okay, I'm going to be 6 pounds lighter when I get back. And I'm going to have eaten barbecue the whole time and still lost that much in pure water weight from sweating to my core from the humidity that socks in. I've been to Kansas City a few times. It's not just the heat. It's a sticky, no wind, like just like, oh, okay, 92 with 55% humidity. Kill me now. Oh my God. Like, this is going to be an absolute slog, boys.
Oh yeah. I've been in that type of humidity. Like you said, it is gonna be unbearable for the players. They're gonna need. They're probably gonna need some new shirts, new kits. Just change it all out at halftime because yeah, it's gonna be all wet. Yeah, it's not a fun place to be in at this time. Right in the middle of summer. So, but yeah, and we like you said, we've seen this Kansas City team before. 0-0 draw, and we could not do anything in that last match. Only 10 shots, 3 were on target. They like playing back. They're at the towards the bottom of the table in the Western Conference. So that's basically all they're going to try to do. And if anything, they'll try to counter and try to score that way. But they're going to be playing back in this match, and it will be interesting to see if last time we did see Understryer at the 9, and I'm wondering if that's kind of what we're going to be seeing in this match. Mighton played the right winger role. Chucky was in there, and pretty much all your standard starters: Godoy, Tverskov, Delatorre, backline, right? Yeah, I kind of wonder what changes are going to be made in this match and what they're going to do differently to get 3 points on the road with only 9 matches remaining.
I think this is where the youth of San Diego FC is really going to kind of come through. Where, if you're a 27-year-old player, it's going to hit you different than a 19-year-old just spring chicken, right? Luca Bombino got some rest. There's players who have been getting some rest under them who are very vital for San Diego FC in MLS, and I think you're seeing that gear change now, where San Diego FC is going to lock in for the tournament. They had this kind of chance to get chemistry and minutes for some new players. Harangi coming in, get acclimated. Let's see what Soma has in some real-time games. But I think that's going to be the key for San Diego FC moving forward. Is the timing of those substitutions more than ever. You can have your starting 11, but in these matches where you've seen, if you were paying attention to Club World Cup, these European players just it's very foreign to them to be in a hostile weather situation like 92 plus humidity. What was it? Borussia Dortmund was watching the players who were substituted out were watching from the locker room because it was extremely hot at 86 degrees. 86 degrees. Like they couldn't stand up.
Too much. 86. It's too much.
Yeah. So again, we've seen Anders Dreyer, especially the weight that he loses whenever he plays any regular match here in San Diego is incredible because of his work rate. So San Diego is going to have to battle hard and really break down at the team that's going to be just waiting for an opportunity for San Diego FC to mess up, for this system to have an aired pass, to put the pressure in the right moment on Dos Santos or Cisniega, coming out the back, and hopefully that can give you a goal, and then you can park the bus. That's the type of game that's going to happen in Kansas City. But San Diego needs to be able to move past this sort of team, because you might face this sort of defending later on in playoffs, later on down the stretch, where teams are going to be holding on to those leads and holding on to those points for dear life.
I really think the key on this one is the 0 side for SDFC. If you can make sure that you're shutting down a Sporting KC attack that isn't that exciting to begin with. And really what I'm saying when I say that, Alex, is no mistakes. We've seen most of the concessions from SDFC come in the way that you would expect with an all baby back line. You know, a mistake, a giveaway, a counter, a counter that's in the final third, you know, so in other words, a sudden change counter, a shot, a spillage, a rebound, you know, these have been the concessions for SDFC. So as long as you don't make that mistake, I feel like the goal will come, whether it's like this last match we saw Tuesday, where it comes in the second half, or whether it comes early. I think the goal comes as long as you don't give them the chance at 1-0 to just shut everything down.
Yeah, that's right. And it just makes me wonder too, like, who are you going to start in that back line if McVay's healthy? You know, are you going to give McVay the start and have Dua sit? And because we've seen Dua, we've seen him and how he plays, and he's played pretty well covering for McVay, but he also has made some mistakes, and they've been costly to the team. And yeah, I kind of wonder if McVay, McNair are ready to go for this match, and it'd be great to have them, you know, out there providing more of a veteran presence than what they currently have.
I mean, we're playing these highlights back right now on the YouTube version, and honestly, even the first 15 minutes, San Diego had 2 chances that they could have converted. You know, they were right there for the taking, including a ball that misses by, you know, less than a foot. And that is what I'm talking about. You get one of those early, you've got this match. Just no dumb mistakes, you know, no big errors. And I think you take care of business here.
The biggest thing for San Diego FC that has been lost from the loss of Milan Iloski is somebody with the cojones to just take the offense by the horns and say, you're giving me what's there, I'm going to just take it. Milan Iloski saw what Dreyer was doing, saw what Chucky was doing, saw what Mighton was doing, saw what Yeppe was doing, and said, you know what? I need to be at the end of that. A player needs to be able to do that and not necessarily worry about how are they going to dribble past. Am I going to second guess this style because I know that I could shoot, but I have a chance to go back and a responsibility to defend? Like, this second guessing needs to stop for San Diego FC, and they need to be more lethal in the final third, because the chances are there. You can have 77% possession of each match, but what are you going to do with it? And I think that's what San Diego FC needs to go back to. So let's find whoever that person is. It doesn't have to be a striker. If it's not, it's not. If it's a midfielder, if it's somebody in the wing, but find that person that's going to help Anders Dreyer continue the streak of assists. It's incredible what he's able to do. He's scoring goals, but he's setting so many chances up that all you need is one person just to be at the edge and just tap it in. Just that's all you need to do. That's all you need to do. And so, yeah, defensive wise, just keep it clean and don't let yourself be the worst enemy. But on the offensive side, get it together. Find somebody to be there. Find somebody just to be at the end and just give that shot. Take a shot. Take a shot, Luca de la Torre. We need to see a little bit more Luca once again.
Yeah, I agree, because what does he do? I ask myself that question.
You're doing the Office Space meme. What is it
Yeah.
exactly that you do here?
Yeah. And it's I'm not trying to crush Luca here, but
Yeah, no.
yeah, sometimes like I'm watching this and I'm like, oh, okay, he lost another ball, and then it's like, oh, he didn't do anything with that one. I understand what he's trying to do. Sometimes it's like he's trying to get it to the final third, and sometimes he just passes it back, and it's like, oh, well, there goes all that momentum that to get you the ball to try to get it to the final third, and it didn't happen. So
There was a moment
uh,
in last night's game, minute 9 to 10, where I saw some of San Diego FC's best, most silky smooth passing. Negri got involved on the left hand side, and I was like, "Wow, look at this go!" It made it all the way into the box, and then they passed it back, and it somehow ended at the half.
yeah.
Like, what? Like, just somebody just take a shot, get a corner, goal kick, get some offensive production of it. Like, take a chance, do it. Come on.
Wasn't in the flow, man. The flow was to pass it back.
Flow.
Yeah.
The 18th thread has been restored. Our flow can return now. We had lost it, but now it's back. Corey Baird, come on. Bring us the flow. If nothing else, if not goals nor assists, bring the flow back. I'm mostly kidding. All right, guys. I think that brings a bow to this episode of the Chromaniacs, episode number 11. Looking forward to this one, and we'll be on after.
We should. Yeah.
We'll be on after. We said we're doing post-match shows, and this is an MLS. This is an MLS, match, not a made-up competition. Real one, ones that we're here for. We'll be on Saturday night after the match with more live takes, highlights, post-match sound that we get, all of it for you, and we'll do it live on YouTube. So we look forward to chatting to you then. Until then, Alex, tell everyone where they can read all of your recaps and previews at Chromatic FC.
Yeah, I'll have a preview for on Friday on Chromatic FC on Substack, and you can catch me on Who Knows Alex on Blue Sky.
Tony,
Tony?
the machine that is SanDiego.Futbol.
Así es, amigos. Así es, amigos. SanDiego.Futbol, SanDiego.Futbol, the name of the game, the website. You can find everything we do covering San Diego FC post-match. Tomorrow, I'll be at training. We'll hear from head coach Mikey Varas to see his preparation, and I might have insight on who gets to start, CJ or Cisniega. So check it out. SanDiego.Futbol, YouTube, and all platforms, Instagram. Donde quieran, find us. Greg?
Meanwhile, this is one of 3 podcasts that I regularly host, Padres Hot Tub, with our weekly main feed show. Last one talking about how basically AJ Prettler is a force of nature and the reasons why he has to be that to keep San Diego relevant in a Dodgers world. So check that out. And if you want to hear a lot more, if you're a Padres fan and you want to hear a lot more, patreon.com/Padres Hot Tub is the place where you get live post-game shows and live group therapy programs as well that are exclusive to our patrons, access to our Discord, which is probably the best place to hang out, except for in the middle of the game when everyone's always upset, unless they're winning. But Alex, you're guilty too. I see you in there. But check it out. Compared to the other social media sites, it's so much better. So patreon.com/Padres Hot Tub and the Chromaniacs and Crossing Streams, my weekly television streaming podcast with Chris Reed. As you can see, weekly recommendations. This week's show is going to focus on 2 different summer mystery series, one on Netflix, Untamed, and the other on Apple, Smoke. Are either of them good or both? Find out on Crossing Streams later this week. Okay, that's it for this one, though. If you made it to the end, please, and can give us that 5-star review on audio or give us that thumbs up right here on YouTube. Hit subscribe to catch all of Tony's work. Please do so. Until we meet again, after SDFC gets 3 out of KC. For Tony and Alex, I'm Craig. Vamos, San Diego Football Club.